Hey!
Hello.
Welcome to Open Net, the one show you cannot miss. My name is Ice Cold Brew. My pronouns are he, they, because I can never be him. Welcome to the show, y'all. I have a great, wonderful cast with me today, and joining me on the desk, we have Quilly.
Hi, it's me, Quilly, the greatest FL player to ever exist, according to me and me only.
Agreed. And then, of course, we have the wonderful Texas Cyclone.
How's it going? I didn't prepare a speech, so I'm kind of feel left out right now. So
Perfect. Excellent. Moving on. Y'all, we have a ecstatic, energy-filled show for this week. We have talks about playoffs. We're going to be recapping shows, matches from 2 weeks ago. And, of course, we have to do a little bit of housekeeping just to keep things in check before we move forward. Right now, what we got, if you noticed yesterday in transactions, automatic rank outs stopped on Tuesday. That means if you got ranked out, if you force ranked down to a different league, you are in that league for the rest of the season. You got 3 weeks and maybe playoffs to do that. This hurts some teams, and I will talk about that later.
PL got lucky. I'm not coming. That's all I got to say.
Going along with that, we also have roster lock coming up this Monday, October 10th. If by 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you do not have 30 scrim points that get you eligible for October 10th and beyond, you will not be able to play in playoffs. I am sorry. You need to get your scrim points up, and unfortunately for you general managers and captains, you cannot pick up anyone else from free agency or waivers. This is your last chance to do that. So if you need to make moves, make them now. And finally, we also got playoffs coming up. We have a date for playoffs. We have October 29th. That is the end of the month. That is 3 weeks away. 3 weeks of high intensity matches where the standings will be shifting and changing every single time. But I've talked enough. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about what happened 2 weeks ago. Let's talk about the past. We got FL coming up from back then. And Quilly, I think you have some really great points about FL. You want to go ahead and get into that?
You're setting the bar high for me and see if I can hold up to your standards here. It's 2 weeks ago. Feels so long ago, but it really wasn't. So let's see what we can talk about here. A huge match, a 5-0. I'm going to be talking about some 5-0s here. The Bulls 5-0 the Rhinos in twos. It was a bloodbath. The Bulls utterly dominated the Rhinos. So they had a combined 36 goals. I'm going to say this wrong. I'm going to do my best, but Watt Sakasaurus, he had 20 goals by himself. And you think that's crazy. His teammate had 16. That is a complete domination. The Rhinos, they shut him out completely. They held him to only 8 goals, a 36-8 differential. That's got to be something brutal. But this match is huge because it bumps both the Rhinos and the Bulls in the hunt category, but for completely separate reasons. The Rhinos fall from their formerly held playoff spot, and they're down in the trenches in the hunt spot, and they got to see if they can get their way out of it, get back into playoff contention. But the Bulls, it propels them forward and into the in the hunt situation going on, which it gives them a good spot looking forward. This is the kind of late season drama we look forward to. It just spices things up heading forward, but it's a beautiful thing to see. It's exciting.
That's shocking, especially as an FL player with 20 goals over 5 matches. That's still huge. That is either they had a really great day or they just found a trick that just caught the Rhinos off guard at every goal opportunity they could.
Yeah, you'll wonder, because Rhinos off the start of the season, they were one of the teams to beat. They started out with they were brutalizing teams left and right, and just to see them fall 5-0, and now all the way down to the in the hunt spot, and to see the Bulls put themselves in the hunt spot with this great performance, you just love to see it. And then following up, the Dodgers and the Bears. Back to knocking on the Bears like I did last week. Very sorry. But the Dodgers, they in total 9-1 the Bears, a 4-1 and a 5-0. But after a 7-3 series defeat at the hands of the Elite, things didn't get a whole lot better for the Bears organization. Like I said, a 9-1 loss to the Dodgers, basically throwing their whole season into a frenzy where they started out as one of the favorites to be winning the championship, and they're slowly finding themselves into back-to-back losing weeks in both series. It's something you got to figure out. Like they got to figure out their season looking forward if they want to be able to compete for this FL championship, let alone stay in playoffs. And as for the Dodgers, this played a huge hand in both. They had a great week. You just love to see this. They're just like cementing themselves right now. And they're just a dominant team, force to be reckoned with. They're not talked about too much, but they're just exciting team. They're holding those playoff spots strongly. It's just great out of them. Shout out to Rua, who led goals with a combined 20. He played in both matches. He had 20 goals combined in twos and threes. He tied with one of his teammates on one, but to combine the lead in both matches means he's going all out on these matches.
You know, a couple of weeks ago, I had a little prediction on that Bears squad that when Potato ranked out, I didn't see the Bears season finishing too well, and I got a lot of heat from that. But my prediction's starting to kind of play out a little bit on that one.
It's making a lot of sense, and especially when you're up against someone like Rua. And I've played with Rua a lot. He and I both played in the same season, and threes is his mode, but seeing him perform extremely well in twos, honestly, not a shocker.
That's where he had his most goals. I think he had 15 there. He had 15 in the twos match. I also shout out to him with that big match. But that, like I said it last stream. I think the ranking out of Bear or Tato for the Bears being Tato ranking out, I think it was going to be a brutal hit, and it so far has shown.
Mm-hmm. Going from one league up to the other, we also have AL, which is turning into a bit of a contested contest. A lot of different matches going on. Texas, you have a lot of ideas and you have a lot of thoughts over the past few matches. Go ahead and give
Yes, for sure. This first one, it was definitely a surprise, and I'm not sure if this team decided to sit their main people out for this matchup to kind of save their games played. But the number 27 Spectre took on the number 9 Sharks in the twos a couple of weeks ago, and let me tell you what, it was a turn of events. The Spectre swept the Sharks, took the 5-0 against one of the top twos teams in AL who were fighting for the top seed in the Orange Conference, but it pushed them to the outskirts and being in the hunt, all while bringing themselves into the hunt, all while bringing the Spectre into the hunt themselves. Dacky Boy and Sniper 50 lit it up against Mercury and Coder Jack, and it gave their team a great shot at this playoff race. They were 31 and 57 on shots, all while the Sharks were only 10 for 22. That is crazy. I'm not sure if the Sharks have their secondary lineup, like I said a while ago, but it seems like the Spectre have found their rhythm this late in the season. And the results of this match could shake up the playoff seedings. So keep an eye on the Spectre, because if they keep this play up, they can emerge as a top underdog. And if teams aren't careful, they'll spoil some playoff hopes in the upcoming weeks.
Exactly. And the AL division matchups are what's coming up. Well, every league has their division matchup coming up. And so we're going to see a lot of shifting around. Because the Spectre's 5-0, they have not only shot themselves within striking distance of their division, but they're also pretty high up now in the seeding too for twos, if I remember correctly.
Yes. Yeah. And what's crazy being an AL myself is if you kind of glance through the rankings, team rankings and all that, it's very, very close from the number 1 to the top 15. There might be a few teams that have several games ahead, but as far as the playoff race goes, there's only a couple of games apart between several teams. So this is going to get exciting as these last few weeks, play out. And then for my next and final series review, it's a very intriguing one on a team who has been so dominant this season in AL. The number 1 Pandas sweeping the Comets in threes and getting the 4-1 and 2s, which honestly wasn't really unexpected because the Comets do sit dead last in the AL. But the interesting thing about this matchup and the Pandas is that they have been shredding into their opponents all season long, but it finally came back to bite them. Not only one player, not 2 players, but 3 players got the boot from Sprocketbot, and they got sent to CL. So they pretty much lost their whole roster in 1 week. So I was looking, and it looks like they picked up who is Osh. He's a really well-rounded 12-5, so it's going to be interesting to see if those players gave them a big enough lead in the division for them to hold off the Shadow Flames and Sharks. But all those teams are on the bubble for play-ins and in the hunt, so that's a division to keep an eye on in the next few weeks.
Those rank outs take a toll. It's unfortunate that it happened just before the rank out lock happened. But I mean, if the Sprocket bot says, the Sprocket must, whatever the Sprocket bot says must go.
Exactly.
Yeah. I will say, with that a major shift for the Pandas, I'm really curious what their strategy is going to be this week with only 4 players on the roster, and what those playoff slots left for what those game spots left for those players are. Because if you play 10, you are not allowed to play the rest of the regular season. There could be a chance for NCPs coming up on their record for the AL squad and for another squad in the future too.
And you would think that getting this close to the playoffs that you would have maybe a better player management in place, because knowing that you have those high salaries on your roster, you could have sat them for a couple of weeks with this big of a lead in the playoff race anyways. You could have set yourself up for better success, but right now, it's going to be interesting to see how they bounce back from that, and if they can keep this lead up. I don't see it happening now.
Mm-hmm. And then we finally also have Champion League. Champion League having a lot of movement going around. We have different matches showing up. We have a lot of people moved up into CL, and a lot of people move away from CL as well too. We got a couple matches about the Shadow versus Demolition. Boom Crew. Very important team to me. I don't know why.
Yeah. Well, the number 8 Shadow played the number 12 Demolition duos. Shadow came in posting a 16-14 record with the Demolition at a 17-13. So this match had the potential to be a banger with only a 1-game difference. The Shadow came out and posted a win right off the rip, finishing the first match 8-1, and probably feeling real confident about that match. But the Demo rallied back and swept them in the next 4 games. The Demo outscored the Shadow 55-37, and by glancing at the save stats, the Demo peppered that goal the whole series, and it kept the Shadow with their backs up against the wall. This win propelled the Demo to the number 2 seed, and they sit slightly comfortable, only to have a 1-game lead on the Comets, who hold the number 5 play-in spot. The rough series for the Shadow pushed them to the outskirts in the hunt, and they will be battling their division rivals and the Wizard, who both now have the same record and fighting for a play-in spot. So, that division right there as well, that's going to be another division to keep an eye on for CL, because, with that many teams in one division pushing for a play-in and a playoff spot, it's going to be a dogfight.
This is the time of season that it's always fun to watch. It's a dogfight for those games. Every game matters, no matter the scale. They're all important. This is all you're basically your last push to get into the playoffs. So you can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah.
Always really love just especially the 3-2s where it's just trade off after trade off after trade off after trade off, and you're just on the edge of your seat shouting for every missed open net, every saved goal, just screaming into a microphone with no one else in the room.
Hey, open net's everyone's enemy.
Or you're at a coffee shop and you get a lot of weird looks, and you kind of cope with that.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get some heat for this next one. Ben, please don't put me in the doghouse for this. It pains me to bring this up, but I have to touch on it. The Blizzard absolutely came out and destroyed my beloved Spartans. Not only did they get swept, but they were kind of embarrassed live in front of the MLE community. Yeah, I get it. The Blizzard are the number 1 team in CL3s right now with a record of 28-7. I don't think you guys probably understand how good of a record that is to be in a 3s CL, 28-7. That is insane. But they took 62 shots versus 23 shots from the Spartans. This was a live stream. You would think maybe a better roster might have been fielded. I don't know the circumstances, but it was an absolute bloodbath for the Blizzard. This match was so brutal, it caused a rank down on the Spartans team. But for the rest of CL, good luck standing on the pitch with the Blizzard, because if they are any indication of what they put on stream, I feel sorry for whoever has to endure those long 5 games.
So all I'm hearing is you have some notes for the CL captain, and they need to speak to you after the show. Got it.
I'm glad you could have some humble words for your own team. A lot of us like to brag about our own team and don't like to talk about the bad things, but it's really cool that you're able to.
I'm gonna get spankings after the show.
You're gonna hear about it. Definitely gonna hear about it.
Speaking of absolute destruction sweeps, let's look at the ML2's game that happened a couple weeks back. We have the Aviators soaring over the Wolves in a shocking 5-0. Our Nation and Thundertug scoring a total of 30 goals altogether. And they fly by the Wolves and they take the pack down for an impactful series win for the season. And they basically came in and just absolutely anything the Wolves tried to do, anything they tried to plan around, they just kept putting shots on net after net after net. And the Wolves, I kind of looked at the replays for this. I'm not going to lie. Wolves, I love y'all. You did not have any idea what you were doing. It looked like an FL game. It looked like like Grand Champs versus Platts. I'm sorry. I say this all the love in my heart and a lot of pity. So to pass off the embarrassment, we're actually going to look at the 3 series instead. Let's talk about the Pandas. They devoured the Comets, overpowering their defense. And while the Comets put up an impressive 23 saves against the Pandas, they could not contend with another like shot for shot. It kind of goes into the theory of like the more shots you put on net, the more pressure you put on the other team. You're going to get a goal eventually. Shot percentage means nothing. Getting 1 point more, putting that ball behind the goal, one more than the opponent, that's going to be the end of the game. And they ran away with that series with a 4-1, cementing their lead in the conference for ML3s. And then, of course, we have Blizzards and Spartans moving up to PL. We have Knuckle balling up his fist and knocking out 16 saves against the Blizzards in the series, completely counteracting everything I just said. Look, if you were a great defensive player and you know exactly where every shot's coming from, sucks to suck. You can't do anything about it. I'm sorry. Kilt and Vazoom coming in with extra goals on the Blizzard side. Not Spartan side. And Vazoom coming in with every assist, just looking for great passes, looking for his teammates everywhere he goes. They beat the Spartans just barely with a 3-2. And then to go into the 2s conference, I love top-tier teams facing each other. I love the Rhinos and the Hives for this reason. I cannot wait for both of them to be defeated.
We know what you meant. We know what you meant.
Yeah. So the Rhinos put out their 2 best players, Red and 0-2. And they played to the top tier. They knocked off the crown off the Hive in a close 3-2 series, showing that just because the Hive have a higher win record and they're the top of the leaderboard for their conference does not mean they don't have any tough challenges coming up ahead. And, of course, we have the grand question with playoffs coming up and grand finals coming up. Will they meet again in grand finals? And will this be a repeat performance for the Rhinos, or will the Hive swarm the Rhinos and take them down?
I know the Hive are dominating every week, so it's nice to see them finally get taken down by someone else.
I want that to continue to happen, personally.
Yeah,
you can only hope. I highly doubt it, but you can only hope.
Yeah, earlier in the season when they played the Spartans, the Spartans were considered one of the best teams in PL, and the Hive made them look silly. I remember watching that, and that's when I knew the Hive were the real deal.
They're a force to be reckoned with.
Yep.
All right. And now, with all those matches reviewed, let's go ahead and leave the past in the past. Let's go ahead and talk about some stuff that popped up from you, the community, with bangers and hangers. We have a great variety, at least 5 clips. Yeah, we have 5 clips coming up, and I'm real excited. I got to see these before, if I'm honest. So the very first clip is from PL. It's actually from the Rhinos game, if I remember correctly. I think Red submitted this after defeating the Hive. And this is a PL 3s match, though, so it's going to be I am completely wrong about everything I just said. This is a very different match. This is a PL 3s match from Red over on the Rhinos. And let's go ahead and let's roll that clip. All right, starting in the net. Always a good spot to start in.
Home base.
Really good demo. Really good demo.
Ooh.
Okay. So we have the demo. We have the really good opportunity for a nice touch. We have a lot going on right here. So what I saw was, I think, no one back at the net. Everyone's playing forward on that team. I think it's going to be just a really tight angle touch right in. Just going from in here right to here. What do y'all think?
What
Texas,
I'm seeing,
throw to you.
I don't know about that. I'm thinking maybe he gets it on the top of the crossbar right there, and it bounces off for an incoming shot. That's what I
Okay.
think.
Okay.
I'm going to be similar with him. As you can see by the ball angle, it's flying in this way, and you got the offensive guy pressing. He's flying upwards. I think he's flying a little bit off-centered. I think that ball is coming this way, going right off the ball. What off the wall? That's a big old bang symbol. I don't know how else to put that. And it's flying out and away. I'm going to take it for a hanger.
All right, so we got 2 hangers. We got another hanger in chat. We got another banger in chat. We got, let's see. Oh, we got a few people saying hanger. Okay.
Hanger gang.
Can we get the rest of that clip rolling forward? And then maybe we can run it back and just see that whole play in action again, because I think it's a good play. I love demos. There's a reason I'm the general manager of the Demolition, okay? I just love watching other people blow up. All right.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, what a touch. Let's see that one more time, just in fast. Oh.
Is it too late to did I say I totally said banger, right?
You definitely said banger. You 100% said banger.
Nice. I saw someone else heard it.
So yeah, I just want to see this clip one more time, just because I love demolitions. I love this nice little double touch right into the corner of the net.
He just barely grazed that. That is quite the touch. I definitely could not have predicted that.
That's just game sense. That's just
being him. That's being him.
Well, maybe one day we'll get there, because I did not think that was going to go in.
All the love and respect in my heart. No, I won't. I am too busy for that. So the next banger we have coming up is going to be an AL3s match again, but this is coming from the comments, coming from Warrat. Great caster, great personality. If you see Warrat, give him a hello from me. Let's go ahead and roll that clip. So we got let's see, 3s match. Nice card. It's going for a nice little touch, nice little bump. And a demo. God, all the demos. I love it so much. Okay.
So demo chasers.
I mean, yeah, in my defense, sometimes we got a demo chase. I have a player on my team who does that, and we call him out on it. It's always fun.
It's one of those demoralizing things.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's throw us to Quilly first. Quilly, what are you thinking is going to happen here first?
All right, so again, I'm taking into account angles. We got the ball's dropping at this angle, and we got offensive guy pushing. There's no one in net, wide open net. But as I'm tracing the net, I'm seeing this ball flying towards a wall, and he's coming off at a weird angle to push it towards that wall. I think personally, I think it's gonna go right side, wall out. I think it's gonna be a hanger.
Okay, hanger. We got a hanger. Texas, what are you thinking?
Well, being an AL, this is kind of common to see people driving fast towards you with a ball sitting on top of your car. So I'm thinking he's going to go for the flip towards the net, and it's going to go maybe a little too high and maybe bounce off. That's my prediction.
Okay. So in chat right now, I'm not going to put my prediction in because I know Warret. I know it's just going to go in if I'm honest. But what I am seeing from the chat is a whole bunch of non-believers. Y'all all saying hanger. Do y'all not have faith? Do y'all not have faith in the comments? And more importantly, Warret, the person who shouts you out and hypes you up in the game? Let's go ahead. Let's roll this clip. And we're going to go ahead and see it from the beginning because I think this is a perfectly good play. Yeah, that's right, DJ. You better change your mind. I saw that.
We convinced him. He's convincing the chat.
Ooh,
all right,
nice demo and the double tap. There you go.
Gosh, I don't know anything. See, my FL brain knows nothing about these crazy plays.
See, well, Warrat is AL, and here's the thing about Warrat. He does get a lot of lucky touches, but most importantly, he knows exactly where to go. Like, you got to trust that he knows what he's doing when he says, I'm still going for it. And you just got to just wait for the catch, just in case. That's it.
Play cautious around him.
Play 100% play cautious.
I'll never doubt you again, Warrat. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Warrat. Sorry, sir.
All right. So moving on, we also have footage from the Elite. We have a AL3's play for DK. Just realized there was a spelling error on my notes. But DK, great person, amazing franchise manager. His first first season as a franchise manager for the Elite, and he is a absolute great player with a lot of insight. Let's go ahead and see what he does for this threes game. We have a lot of threes game, I just realized.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Guess where that's all the highlights happen. Or hangers.
All right, so the score is 6-2. There's the Cincinnati Cubs. Not the Cubs.
Cincinnati Reds? Is that what you're talking about?
He's got no, it's not the Reds. I am going to get yelled at later. I think I'm already hearing my Discord ping right now. All right.
How dare you not know this?
But really good jump off the wall, really good bounce. Texas, let's go ahead and have you take away the first guess on this one.
I'm 0 for 2 on the hangers. Why not make it 0-3? I think that one's going to go right across there and come off the top of the crossbar and a whiff.
Okay. So we got one whiff. Quilly, what are you feeling?
Texas, I think I'm going to die on the hill with you. We've gotten 2 bangers in a row. I feel like there's no way we got 3 bangers. This guy, he's coming across net. He's got good positioning. The net's all the way down here. There's plenty of room for him to make a play, and so much room for him to have to make a play. Now you got a whole lot of open space to work with. I think he's going to make the save. I'm going to take a hanger.
I might have to agree with you, but not in the way you think. I think what's going to happen is DK is going to get a really nice touch off here, and it's going to go towards the net, similar to how Red's shot went, but it's going to roll out. It's just going to roll away, and it's going to be sad and disappointing, and he's just going to flip his car upside down and leave the game. Let's go ahead and roll the rest of that clip. Let's see what happens.
The demoralizing turtle sit.
Yeah. Oh, the amount of times I've seen that in ranked.
Oh.
All right.
Oh, there's a whole play set. Oh my gosh. There's so much more to the play than we could have imagined. It started out as a hanger, and then it ended as a banger. What a twist.
What a play.
Am I half right? Do I get a half right? Do I get a half a point?
I'm going to give you a half point on that one.
I'll take it.
I didn't expect it to go all the way back and then get centered and just rolled right in. Amazing. Another player of the comments sent in a 2's ML play. We got DFAT22 coming in with probably some nice early plays. I think DFAT was an FL back when I was in season 11, now that I think about it. Let's go ahead and roll the clip as I reminisce what it was a year and a half ago. Think a year and a half ago?
Something like that.
Yeah, probably.
Time's relative.
Ooh.
The Barney colors.
Love the purple and light blue. What a touch. Good fake.
Ooh. 2 seconds on the clock. The pressure's on. 0-0 all around.
Mm-hmm.
This is a tough one.
Ooh.
You said this was ML.
This is ML.
Okay.
DFAT's an ML player. So he can probably air dribble.
Yeah, for sure.
Or at least catch and dribble again.
All right. I think this guy right here, like, he's in the roughest spot you could possibly be in on a transition with nobody in the goal. I'm thinking he's more worried about trying to get back as fast as he can while also slowing down the play. But I think he's going to go up, maintain control, air dribble it all the way, and bang it down. That's my opinion. That's what I think.
I'm going to cut in line here. I'm going to say it's a hanger, and I'm going to give my reason why. I have no faith in DFAT being able to carry that ball all the way up and then dribble it. I think it's going to land right in front of the net.
I see B the hater on DFAT.
I say there's a lot of love, DFAT, but I have no faith. Quilly, what do you think?
All right, might be a dumb thing to do, but I'm gonna take a 4th banger in a row. You got the offensive guy right here who's clearly just gonna go up and punch at the ball, maybe take a power shot. You got the defensive guy down here. In my situation, I would go to do a double jump and try to jump up at it, but I'd end up just doing a backflip and looking silly as could be, like a little FL player. But you also got to remember, there's a defensive player and an offensive player back here. If they can recover fast enough and he messes this up, you got his teammate here to help, or the defensive player that can disrupt the entire play. So it can really go anyway. I'm gonna take a banger.
I got bangers, one hanger. I got someone calling out a musty flick off the crossbar.
Now, you also got to remember he has 78. He got 78 boost.
78.
Oh yeah, he's going all the way to the goal with it. He's going all the way to the goal with it.
That's a lot of movement. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's roll this clip from the beginning just to get a clearer idea of how this looks. Because I don't see how this shot goes in, honestly. Grand Zatch there is not in a good spot. Oh. Okay, so we have the bounce back. Good fake. In front of him.
Yep, banger.
Oh!
Oh,
It falls short.
oh my goodness.
I said it was 2 seconds on the clock. I didn't even take for account the time running out.
Oh no!
I admit you just completely. Oh, that's just one of those things that you just,
I spoke
you just
too
hate to
soon.
see it.
I said banger
sorry,
and I
buddy.
spoke too
That
soon.
hurts. That hurt me, and I didn't even do the play.
That just
Those
goes
are-
to show you, don't shoot. Catch it and roll it in.
Those are the kind of games that make you shut the game down early for the night and head to bed.
Yeah.
I can
That's
already
just you're
tell
done
he
for
was
the
standing up like, oh my god, and then it just drops. And everything in you just sinks.
DFET, do better. Anyways, moving on. We're going to go back to
No mercy, no mercy.
Love you, DFET. We're going to someone who has contributed a lot of clips before, and I really do appreciate them sending more. We're going to go to Purple Box, who is sending in another ML3's gameplay clip. Let's go ahead and roll that clip. Purple Box, of course, sending a lot of bangers, a lot of hangers. I would love to see some hangers. I would love to see some foundation flips in ML. If y'all can pull that off for me, you'd make me proud.
I'm still working on the half flips.
Yeah, seriously. All right, so we got Purple Box going for the mid boost. Oop. Okay. 1 second, 0 seconds on the clock. Oh, that's a lot of pressure.
This is a lot for my FL brain to take in. There's
Look
so
how much
movement.
defense is on the field in front of him.
You got 3 guys in front of him.
You have one person who may be smart and actually go back post. You have 2 people pushing forward. One of them could just knock him out of the play.
Yeah, I definitely see Pink. If Fino doesn't jump, I see the name. I see him running right into him.
Yeah. Quilly, you want to go ahead and start us off? What's your prediction so far?
All right. So looking at this, he's running relatively low on boost. Not the lowest. There's definitely I've seen people make plays on the TikTok, but you got him. He's got a clean dribble going on, so he definitely knows what he's doing. That was a crazy setup, but you got 3 defenders. You got him coming back post to save. It all matters on how quickly he can make the play happen. But regardless, I think with all their positionings, I'm going to take a hanger. I think the defense is just there. As much as my gut wants me to say banger and see a cool clip, I think I'm going to take a hanger.
Okay. Texas, what are you feeling? Because I'm starting to notice a few extra facts on the field right now.
Well, as an ACAD player, if I was any one of these guys, I'd be like, there's no way. Well, my mouse is messing up. I don't know if you guys can see that or not.
Yeah, we can see that. But I
Okay,
know where you're pointing to here.
All these guys, I'd be question mark, 0 time left on the clock. I'd be freaking out because this guy is doing some crazy stuff in the air right now, and we are all playing backwards. What I think he's going to bang it down. He's probably going to go off the top crossbar and get a double touch into the goal.
Okay. So we got 1 hanger, 1 banger. So here are my thoughts. So I'm noticing, hey, the name is already heading back. So that means he has an opportunity to go ahead and hit above the crossbar. You got Fluffle back here. No one has taken boost on the floor, which means if they do their boost pathing right, they have plenty of chance to get more boost in order to deflect the ball. You already have a Fino driving forward, so you might as well try to block Purple Box that way. However, I know Purple Box is a very mechanically talented player. As someone has called out in chat, he has been on open net almost every week we've done the show. And a part of that is he keeps giving us good clips, if I'm being real here. So let's go ahead and roll the rest of that clip, and let's see what happens here.
He's not submitting any bad plays, but we're getting out of this.
Yeah, Purple Box, you're listening. I need you to send me some, can you... Oh, my God.
And he typed it.
Just tucked it right in there.
See what happens when you go against the gut. You take hanger, and you get a banger.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you always want them to either do really well, and it looks amazing, or you don't know how it's going to roll out, and my God.
And the fact that that was a game tying shot right there too. That was 0 second, a lot of 0 second clips here. That was 1-2. That was a tie of the game.
As a defensive player with 0 time left on the clock like that, and you're going backwards and seeing a guy doing that, you just kind of have to just throw your card in there at that point and hope it hits.
It's just a hope and a pray.
All right, so now we're going to go ahead and get into our next segment. For this segment, I really need to shout out the 3 people who put a lot of work and effort into this. Shout out to our broadcaster, Isaiah, who works with me on OpenNet as well. Shout out to Luke, who helps us out with the graphics and everything you're looking at now. And we also have Rocket Raccoon to thank as well for coming up with the idea and working on it with Isaiah and Luke. And now we're going to show off the playoff picture. And we have it for every single league. Basically, what we have going on is we're going to be looking at the division leaders for some leagues or the top contenders if you're FLPL, and then who all is in the hunt as well. Let's go ahead and bring up that graphic just to kind of show it off a little bit. I really do love the look of this. It looks amazing. There we go. We got Foundation 2's playoff picture first.
All right, so my domain.
Oh, yeah.
We got a lot to look at here. There's no play-ins in here. We just got the in the hunt and the straight up playoffs to look at. But a whole lot of even if you look at all of them from first place to fourth place are all within 5 games. So these are literally all interchangeable. They're all interchangeable. Like anyone can, one bad week and one good week can shake up this entire roster. Like I said, in the hunt, you got Rhinos and Bulls. They had that week just put them both next to each other. Now that they're both neck and neck after that beatdown of a 5-0. You got the Dodgers taking the 3 spot neck and neck with they're even with the elite in records. That there's a 2-record difference, a 2-win difference in the Orange Conference. This is all it's pretty much up for the grabs for anyone. It's the time of year when anything can happen.
Mm-hmm. And even if they tie for one reason or another, there's a whole bunch of things that make the difference. Did they beat each other in a head-to-head if they're from the same division? Did one of them make more goals than the other? How many of them have more series wins than the other? There's just a lot of different factors going into this. It is absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, and after seeing the match that Quilly was talking about with the Bears, they're sitting there at the number 4 seed, and if they have an outing like they did prior, they might not be seeing that number 4 seed much longer.
Yeah, Rhinos could easily take over that if they fix what they did wrong last week and flip that 0-5 to a 5-0. They'll take they have a good possibility of taking a strong lead. Not only they could easily get up to the 1 spot with this position if you look at how close all the records are.
Oh yeah.
Let's go ahead and also move over to the 3s side as well, too, because if I remember correctly, this play is a little bit of a different picture. It paints a bit of a different picture for us just on both sides, because I know, if I remember correctly, the compasses are a bit higher up on 3s than they are in 2s.
Oh, yeah, to slide that.
Love you, Fallen.
Uncalled for as a compass or an eclipse, better known. We're nice and in that nice and number 2 spot. We're holding our own over there. It's definitely all competitive. If you the 1 spot, there's only 2 wins ahead of us. But for that to the 3 spot is neck and neck with the number 2 seed. There is a bit of a drop off at the number 4, a 5-game difference. You wonder what's going to go or what happened down there. The in the hunt, they pretty much the number 4 spot is up for grabs. 17 wins at the 4 and then 15 wins at the 5. It's a 2-win difference. Like I said, one good week and one bad week from 2 different teams can shake up the whole thing and just change who's there and who's not. In the Orange Conference, you got the Tyrants. They weren't in. I don't believe they were in the last one, but it's good to see them at least in one of these. They're in one of these graphics. Again, it's all close knit records. Everything is well. It's evenly balanced is the best way to put it, and it's just going to be competitive through and throughout. And hopefully the playoffs will look just as good as these records do.
Yeah.
So one thing I do want to ask you, Quilly, because you are on the Compasses Eclipse. Yes. You are currently number 1 in the division for 2s. You're pretty high up there, and then number 2 and 3s. What's one thing for your team that you think you should keep in mind going forward, especially with these last 3 weeks where playoff contention is very close, especially for FL?
It's all about win-win-win. I think we're looking good with our lineups. We like who we have going forward. We have pretty much a set thing for Tuesday, not completely set, but we like what we're looking at. We pretty much all of our players are interchangeable. We trust everyone, so no matter who we send out, we think it's our best lineup, regardless. But I think we're happy with how we're looking. We're in playoffs in both things, so that's something you can't argue with. Like obviously, our season's panning out pretty well, and you can't be mad about it. All we could do is hope that we keep performing, keep playing well, and see how the season turns out. We're looking for both chips. Following Matt to mention that Eclipse has never won a championship. I want to see him hopefully after these playoffs. Hopefully,
I think you're getting a little ahead of yourself right there. I don't know if you saw my Spartans boys up there or not, but they were up there at the #1 spot. And Tordad's not going to let y'all come in and do that too easily.
See, I don't want to bring up the past, but the stream match I did 4-1 the Spartans.
I think they were taking an off day. They were just relaxing,
Luckily, this is threes. I didn't play them in threes. I can't help anything here.
Then, they did have Arburn rink out though for the Spartans, and he was their top guy. But they do have a solid lineup for their FL squad, so I have faith in them to keep it rolling and hang in there and make a good run in the playoffs. So
yeah, you got different teams in each division. You got some similar teams that are dominating, but you also have variation. So anything can happen. Every team has a chance to do something, unless you're the Pirates. Unfortunately, they are down and out. Pour one out for the Pirates. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. We also have AL as well too. Let's go ahead and look at the AL picture real quick, just to get a bit of a clearer vision. I also just wanted to double check and make sure I'm about to say something correct. So you can see the Orange Conference here in blue, because ACAD's colors are blue. But you'll notice that like you have a lot of very close teams to each other. You have a lot of teams with matching win records because of the division leaders, of course. Texas, you know a lot more about AL than I do. I can pretend that I know because I talk to them a lot, but you definitely know.
Yeah,
what's going on in the conference?
Well, you got those top seeds sitting there pretty comfortably right now. One thing I did notice earlier with the Shadow is they put B on waivers. So I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but B was the 12-5 and he was, one of their top players. So, hopefully the Shadow I'm sure they got it figured out. But and then you scroll down to the Pandas and kind of what I was talking about with them. They had those 3 rank outs, so they are at the #5 playing spot right now. Are they going to be able to keep it rolling without those 3 guys? Who knows? And then you scroll down to the Flames right there at 19 and 16. The interesting thing about the Flames is, earlier in the season they played the Demolition, which is a very strong team. And I counted them out very early. And when I watched that stream match, the Flames just dismantled the Demolition. So I have the Flames on a sleeper team right there in the Orange Conference. So, I'd keep and watch on them.
I think the picture. Oh, go ahead.
No, keep going. You're good.
The picture to switch over from 2s to 3s, the picture definitely looks a lot different. I think everyone who is a top contender in the 2s conference for the blue conference has switched for the Orange conference. Wow, sorry. I'm throwing myself off. But every top contender in the Orange conference gets dropped down further. They're struggling a bit more. Could you talk a little bit more about that as well for the 3s teams?
Yeah, for the 3s teams, we kind of have similar thing. Not every player plays 3s and not every player plays 2s. So it's just a matter of finding that groove at some point in your season, and hopefully as playoffs approach, you find that, and thankfully for our team, we're starting to click towards the end of the season, and we're all pretty confident going into these final few weeks against our division. So it's and like I said earlier, AL is so tight right now. Several teams are just within 1 game, 2 games of the whole playoff picture just being changed. So it's going to be an exciting end of the season, I think.
Yeah, you definitely enjoy the neck and neck matches. You excited to see who beats who shakes it up. And honestly, you look at those lower level teams, like even if they're out of the playoffs, they can drastically change the records and help give people better positioning.
Yeah, let's
For
actually
sure.
look at that playoff picture for the Threes Orange Conference real quick, just to kind of get a bit more context about what we're talking about here. And there we go. There's the team I want to see up top.
Oh, the
Number
demolition.
one in the division. This is why I wanted to talk about the Threes AL Conference.
The demolition, man, they are a very, very good team. I had a lot of time with them in the offseason. They're led by Sky, hugs you to death. Branch, they've got so many great players on that team. It's going to be hard to stop them. And in that matchup when they did play the Flames on stream, the Flames took it to them in twos, but the demolition bounced back. And I think they ended up with the 4-1-3. So the demolition's got a very strong threes team. And then pointing out again, like I just said, the Pandas up there at number one, are they going to be able to maintain that, going into these last few weeks? But if you look at all the records right there, I mean, it's very, very close. And it's gonna pan out it's gonna be a crazy pan out towards the end of the season for sure.
Yeah, definitely. If you notice 6, 7, 8, all the same records. It's a neck and neck fight. One team that has the same record, you got to look at yourself and be like, we have the same record, but we're out. We have to do more to take over that spot and be this better team and get ourselves into the play-ins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, look at the Shadow. Shadow and the Bulls and the Dodgers are all in a 3-way tie just to get positioning. Shadow, of course, being in the Tropic division, have a little bit more of a fighting chance compared to trying to take out the Bulls. They are extremely close to each other. It's going to basically be if they match records every single match for the next 3 weeks, it's going to be down to head-to-heads. It's going to be down to series ones. Tie, how many goals does each team have? If a team can right now the Dodgers are leading in that goal difference at 17, but that could change at any point over the weekend.
Yeah, for sure. And it'll all come down to statistics at that point. But from these upcoming matches, these teams know what's on the line at this point, and they're going to do whatever they can. They're going to put the best team on the field that they can. They're going to do whatever they can to climb their way into the playoffs. And it's going to shake up a little bit. I don't think what we're looking at right now is what we're going to be looking at in the next few weeks.
Mm-hmm. My favorite kind of setup. I'm also being corrected. Right now is currently based on series record. They are the third tiebreaker. On the third tiebreaker. I'm getting a little tired of looking at orange. I need something a little bit cooler, a little bit more refreshing. Let's go ahead and look at the blue conference for AL2s.
The blue conference.
Very smooth. Listen, I'm a cool guy, okay?
It's a professional over here.
Blues conference. That's my favorite. That's where my team is.
You're
looking at sitting there, at the number 4 seed leading our division. But the one thing I do want to point out, all the teams, which include the Jets, Knights, and Express in my division with the Spartans, we all sit within 2 to 3 games of each other. The Spartans, we're at number 15, Express 21, Jets 22, and Knights 23. So these final weeks will be very crucial for us, and every single win counts for all of these teams in our division. If you see here, most of all the division sits on the bubble, so one loss can determine a team's whole season, and all of that hard work put in would be forgotten if they are not careful.
And I'm also just like that number 1 spot, though. I'm definitely liking that number 1.
I don't see you guys. I don't see you guys sitting there too long because I have something. I wrote just for this segment. The Eclipse sit with that number 1 seed from their division, but from my personal opinion, is the Blizzard will take over that spot before it's all said and done. Earlier in the season, the Eclipse started with a good friend of mine, Tiny, and Jelly Dragon, who both went former players. And those were the Eclipse's best players, in my opinion. And they got the Eclipse off to a hot start before they went former player. And having played against both the Eclipse and the Blizzard, I think the Blizzard will take over that spot and be the top dog in that division going into playoffs. But I will say this, keep an eye on the Hurricanes. As they can give both of those teams a run for their money, and that whole division could be turned upside down because the Hurricanes are a very good team as well. So
I guess you could say they get caught in a storm.
They might.
The puns. Puns.
Y'all wanted me on the show. You get puns. I'm sorry.
I just want to mention, though, I'm going to have to defend my own team. though we did my boy Tiny. I do love my boy Tiny. We do have some good assets that we've attained since then. Shout out to Cujo. He's one of our newest pickups. He's been on the team for a little bit. Great player. He's an FL rank out actually, and he's dominating up in AL. So I think we have what it takes to keep going at number one spot.
Yeah. To each their own.
Let's go ahead. See. Last week open. We'll be here to duke it out verbally.
Let's go ahead. Let's move on to threes and see what is going on in the Blue Conference and who's duking out with who. Because, we got the Hurricanes up there. We got that team up there. Where are the compasses? Oh wait, no, I'm there.
Oh yeah, you spoke too soon. You spoke too soon.
Out of pocket. Where are you now? My eyes are closed. I don't know what we're talking about here.
Where are you at now? Because if I see it correctly, the Spartans are on both pages, so I don't know what's going on there.
No, hold on, I gotta.
You're on the fringes. Look with my glasses You're on the fringes.
Speaking of the close conference that we are in, we got the Jets at the number 4 seed at the moment, and we are sitting at the number 7 seed with the Express and the Knights both on our tails. So you got 4 teams in the same division, and the division lead, play-in, and in the hunt. So, like I said, these next few weeks, this whole AL conference, both blue and orange, is going to be crazy because the records are so close. 18-17 Jets, 18-17 Spartans, 17-18 Express, 16. I mean, that's 1 to 2 games right there, and then you've got the Blizzard. Like I said, we played them. They're a very solid team all the way around, 3s and 2s. You got the Foxes, which are Lovely Fresh did a piece on them. If you guys read that, I think it was a week or 2 ago. But that team right there, they're coming off a strong offseason together, and they're going to be a really hard team to beat. And as the playoffs get closer, you would only imagine that they're going to be playing even harder. And then you got the Hawks up there, lonesome all by themselves, just hanging out, and they have a strong record, a strong team. This is just seeing this graphic, which is great. It makes everything so much easier to see, and it makes it even that much more harder for these divisions to want to play for and try to win. And it's going to be a crazy few weeks, guys.
Can I just say another cool little fact about the graphic that was made? It automates. It changes everything up as we know more about what the standings are and what the games are in. It automates. It's so good. Speaking of championship graphics, another smooth transition by me. We're going to go ahead and talk about CL now. We're going to go ahead and start off. We're going to start with, let's do 2's Orange Division first. And we're going to do the same thing we did last time as well. Okay. Let's see. Oh my God. We have the Pirates leading the division here. We also have Pandas up top for theirs. I love the Pandas. They have very good emotes. If you join their server, they have very good emotes. It's adorable. One thing to note, we got the Shadow coming right up behind the Pandas within maybe a series win, and if the Pandas lose, that's even better. It's a very tight contested contest in Tropic. Do one of y'all want to go ahead and share some of your thoughts about that?
Just looking at these records and stats, they're also pretty similar and close. So it's we keep touching on it. It's all these teams, within the same divisions that are all kind of just hitting the playoff picture. It could change completely the next week or two. You might not see the same teams next week or the week after because all these teams are going to knock each other out because they have to play each other,
Yeah. I'm looking at that number 4 seed and see how they're holding a 17-18 record, but they're still in the playoffs. And I got the 5, 6, and 7, maybe not the 7, but the 5 and 6, all holding a 20 or plus record. You're looking at them going, the fact that they're in the playoffs and we're not, that might give them some motivation to push farther and play harder. Wizards just get the luck of the draw and get a weaker division that helps push them into the playoff spot for now.
Okay. And trucking right along, let's actually look over at the 3's side as well, just to get a little better vision, just to see a little bit of the stuff shifting around. We have Demolition and the Hunt over here. We have a lot of movement around over here. Let's see who's in the Hunt You got the Elite also in the hunt instead of being in the play-ins. And now we also have, again, my favorite team, Demolition, up on top. Hey, oh wait, I'm in the wrong conference. Hold on, I need to remember this.
Don't bully me yet. Don't bully me yet.
I got one more chance. Hold on. But yeah, no. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about the threes side of this. We have a lot of teams that are very close to being knocked out. We have a lot of teams that are in play-ins by the skin of their teeth.
A lot of 1 and 2 game differences right there. It's going to be a race to the finish.
Yeah, literally top to bottom is all within each other. Shout out the Comets. I like their logo. That's about all I got to say on the Comets. I do like their logo a lot. I just like their colors. But everything, all the records are super close. It's going to be super entertaining thing to see how it pans out.
Mm-hmm. So to really recap what the standings are, just to make sure people understand, the people who are division leaders, they might not have the strongest win-loss record in the conference, but if they are the top contender in their division, they will be the number 1 seed. And then the number 2 seeds go to people with the highest winning record of their division as well. So if you're seeing some folks up there and you're like, wait, why is this team a 24-2 and 24-11, but the other team above them is a 19-16? That doesn't make sense. That's to help cover your bases a little bit. Yeah. We're going to go ahead and truck right along here. Let's go over to the blue conference and get an idea of everything that's going on that side.
Should I close my eyes now? Actually, should mute everything.
All right. So,
a lot of different.
I'm lost. Here. I can't find my compass.
Oh,
Last time I promise.
Yeah, I mean, like we were talking about earlier with the Blizzard, they also have a very good twos team, and them just being. It looks like they had the same record as their division leader, so it's going to be a close battle towards the end right there for the Blizzards division. You also have the Express and Jets from the same division. There's a lot of similar divisions holding down these leaderboards, so be great to see what happens.
Do you like to see the mix-up of other teams and see what they got to contribute for the playoffs, and see if maybe they'll dominate in one, and see if they're top heavy on threes per se and bottom heavy on twos, and see how they perform?
Yep.
Yeah. We actually should look at that threes division real quick for the blue conference, just because it paints a very different picture where everything is pretty close and tight knit over in the two side. Threes terrifies me in CL. I am not joking.
Mainly just one team.
That is crazy. Just seeing that on paper, 28-7. That is
all these
insane.
teams. All these teams close their eyes at night and they just see blizzards.
I live in Texas. Listen, I am not good against the cold. I'm like our power grid.
Same. Yeah, man. That's going to be whoever has to play the Blizzard. I'm sorry. Hopefully you had a good night's rest and you had a good meal leading up to the match, because you're going to need every bit of energy to finish those 5 games.
Gonna need to be on your A game, as an understatement.
Yeah. Oh gosh. With CL having a very strong contender, let's go ahead and look at the ML squad as well. Let's look at our Master League. These people are GC, getting closer and closer to hitting that top tier level.
Yeah, they're okay, I guess.
Yeah, I like them. All the ML players I hang out with are cool.
Yeah.
So let's start with looking at the ML2 squad. And there's a team that I wanted originally to see in both modes. That wasn't until the lockouts happened. Pandas, I'm sorry. I wanted you to win in both 2s and 3s. I wanted you in conference finals and even grand finals for both modes. And then I realized the roster lock happened, and y'all went down from a stack of 6 players to 3. You had 2 of them rank up to PL. And unfortunately, Pandas don't have a PL squad. So as much as they are in the hunt right now, and as much as they are working to do the best that they can, I really want them to win the conference. I'm going to need to see some major major transactions and free agency moves and waivers before Monday, or else we're going to see the same 3 people for every mode, and that sometimes means they will be burnt out. It's a very interesting position for them to be in.
for sure.
Definitely running low on time. You better hope they can make the changes, and also hope their 3 players aren't sitting too high in the usage rate.
Yep, that's the other problem too. Well, at least with the folks that ranked out a PL, chances are high they probably ranked out a PL because they kept getting used. Yeah. Let's go ahead and look at the ML2 conference, which is a bit of a different beat. We have, it's not too close if you are looking at the standards here. So we have the Ducks at the very top, along with the Wolves, Knights, and Lightning. And then we have the Aviators coming up behind the Ducks with a 3-win difference. I think the Aviators, after the fight with the Wolves, I think they have a chance to overcome the Ducks as well. Those Ducks are going to get caught in the rudders, and it's not going to look pretty. However, I can be very, very wrong. It can be rough out here.
I just want to mention I see a compass.
Don't worry. We'll see it eventually. Actually, wait, will we see eventually? I'm going to take that back and move on. So in the twos division, we also have a lot of movement here in that we have people who are very closely contested. If you look at the Knights and if you look at the Lightning and the Blizzard, you can see that the two storms are about to meet eventually, and one of them's going to overtake the other. They have plenty of time to overcome the other. My hope, honestly, I would love to see the Lightning stay in their conference, stay at the top tier, and I want to meet them at grand finals. Let's go ahead and move on over to the threes side of things. We're going to look at the Orange Division first. We have a lot of different teams, and this is why I was really hopeful for the Pandas, if I'm honest. I see that 25-10 and threes. I'm like, what about twos? Y'all just don't like the one-on-one game? You don't like the simple passing plays, you know?
No, they're all about teamwork.
That's true. We also got the Bears up top with the Spectre and the Tyrants. Unfortunately, you don't see the Boom Crew out there, but you know, we're out here. We have a chance. I think I believe in us.
Hopefully.
We got the Sharks and the Pirates and the Hunt as well. I actually got to see the Pirates play against the Tyrants a couple weeks back when they were doing their live stream game, and whoo is all I'm going to say. Moving on from there, we do have a lot of hope that I do personally want to see the Shadow overtake in ML. I want them to hit the top of the division. I think they're going to be the ones we're going to see at the conference final. I think they can beat out the Pandas in the long run.
Think they're a sleeper team going forward?
I 100% think the Shadow is a sleeper team.
He's taking his money. He's put his money where his mouth is. He's going to bet money on them.
I'm going to say a lot of foolish things, and y'all can hold me accountable. And feel free to @ me on Twitter about it.
Get the clips going.
I will promptly ignore it. Moving on to the Blue Conference, we got the Sabres up top, along with the Knights and the Hurricanes and the Aviators. The Aviators, again, impressively top of their division, and they beat a team that should have beat them. The Wolves should have beat them in ML3s. But currently all the Wolves have going for them, or they are tied in win-loss record with the Sabres, and they are trying their best to catch up to them. Maybe this weekend will be different. Maybe something will happen, but I'm going to be watching that game eventually. Overall, a lot of close, tight-knit races. A lot of folks are just within a sweep, if they're lucky, or at least 3 2s, 4 1s. If they can keep that record going for the rest of the season, they're going to end up taking over. But I think the Sabres, if in all honesty, I don't think they're going to be able to hold that the top of the division. I think they're going to fall to the Wolves, but the Wolves will lose to the Aviators again, if I'm honest. From there on, we're going to go over to PL. We have the Premier League, top of the tier, where you can actually rank out of MLE. Over at the PL, sometimes you're too good for the team. I get it.
Must be
we
nice.
have over in the twos division. God, imagine. We have the Rhinos at the top of the leaderboard here, followed by the Flames and the Demolition. We have Demolition doing their best to stay in the running for that play-in. We have 16-19. We have the Pirates and the Shadow coming in behind them. Demolition will be facing off the Pirates later this week. More on that later. I'm cheering for the Demolition. I want them to do well. I think they can overtake it. It's going to be a very tight-knit race. So,
I mean, whoever gets an advantage over the Hive, if a team can do that, will be a team that will win. But if nobody can do that, I don't see anybody beating the Hive. I'm just gonna throw that out there. The Hive are the top dog. They are the team in PL, and the first team to knock them off, that's the team that's going to win it all. But for right now, it's going to be the Hive.
I have to disagree with that. I think while the Hive are up there, they've been up there for quite a while. I think they're getting too comfortable.
I think they 05 to not they got 05 not that long ago.
I think they got 05 not that long ago.
I mean, you got to sit people every now and then to save your best for last. You know,
your usages.
Between the Rhinos, between the Orange Conference and the Blue Conference, we're going to have a very tight-knit race, and I do think it's going to be very close between the Flames Demolition and the Rhinos. Sorry, Pirates. I'm not counting y'all. I'm not counting you either, Shadow. Love y'all. No. Instead, we're going to look over at the 3 side, and what I really want to shout out is the Rhinos again, showing that they are a top-tier team. Granted, they are a bit comfortable. There is no doubt in my mind, while they are comfortable, and yes, they are going to go into conference finals, they're not going to win conference finals. I'm going to say the same thing about the Hive. The Hive, even more so in 3s, look how close they are to the rest of the team. 18-17 between the Blizzards and the Spartans. I mean, it writes itself.
Definitely. This is going to be heavy competition going forward. Just to fight for it. You just want to see what happens. This is exciting. I mean, all the other teams, all the Indian teams, it's going to be a long trek to try to get back into that. Not very high. Sorry, Demolition. Sorry, ICB. They got a lot of ground to make up to try to get back there. But you can just, I like to root for the underdog, so you can only hope for the best for them.
I believe in Just Tuck, and he is a great captain. I think we're going to at least have a great fighting chance in 2s. I do think we can pull ourselves up in 3s. I do 100% believe that. I think, depending on how our lineups go for the next 3 weeks, we'll be in contention. We'll at least be playing in for that first week of playoffs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Blue Division alone, that's going to be one of the closest divisions of all. You know, they're only separated by just a few games from top to bottom. So, but like I said earlier, I'm a Spartan by heart. But what I seen the Hive did to the Spartan earlier in the season, I do not see anybody touching them. The Hive, again,
I think they're too comfortable.
I mean, when you've been there long enough, you know, it's kind of like the Patriots for so long. They got comfortable. They just kept winning. You know, like the Astros. You know, everybody wants to hit on America's team, but the Astros have been doing it. You know, why can't the Hive?
We're going to see what happens. We're going to come back to this in a couple weeks, and we're going to see who gets knocked out in playoffs. All right. And with that, we also finally have our upcoming matches for the week. We have a lot to discuss on that end. Let's go ahead and let's kind of roll into FL. One I'm really excited about. Quilly, how are you feeling about FL over here? I know you got a match coming up tomorrow.
I'm personally excited about it, and obviously I'm going to do the meta thing and talk about my own team and my own match. I'm excited. We have the Hurricanes versus Eclipse in a 2s match tomorrow night, affiliated stream hosted by
Omega Blaze 33.
We got our own people up here. But Hurricanes versus Eclipse in the 2s match. Those are the 2 teams with the 2 best records in duo or doubles. So you already know it's going to be a hard fought battle. Last time, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna shy away from it. Last time it happened, I was also in the doubles match, and we did get 5-0'd. I will take full blame for it. I was playing like a bot. I am an FL player.
It's redemption time, Quilly.
Exactly.
That's what it's about. I get the stream match tomorrow. I get to show. I get to put on in front of everyone. But it being that, like I said, it being the 2 best teams, we're even getting 05 by them. We're still the second best record in all of doubles. So we're still one of the top contenders for teams. Shout out to my captain Fluffy, who's put together great teams so far. We're still in the fight regardless, because our teams are just that dominant regardless of getting 05. We can overcome these feats. But I like to give score predictions. I don't. Do you want me to
jump in on that?
I was going to say that. I'm not gonna. I think it might be bad luck to make a prediction, but I am player to look out for. Quilly. I'm going to give that though, because I'm going to spoil. I am playing. That's giving out insider information.
Now you know if it goes wrong, you can't show your face, right?
No, I'm just gonna.
But I'm going to make a prediction for this game. I believe that y'all will redeem yourself. I believe y'all will come back, but I think it's going to be close. I think y'all are going to win 3-2, and y'all are going to tie win-loss records with the Hurricanes.
That would be exciting. Hurricanes definitely one of the teams to look at that are great. I know they have had some rank outs, but they are still holding on to some of their good players. They still have Sneak, who's their 10 sal. He's a great player. He's gifted with the ball, but see what we can do against them and hope for the best.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you giving the Compasses some love and giving us a series win.
See, I didn't have to say it that time. You said it yourself.
I'm living with it now. I'm on MLE. There's nothing. The word compass has been said more than eclipse, I believe. If we can get a word count around that.
Can we get a suggestion sent to the mailbox to change the name of the eclipse to the compasses? Get all new merch. Moving on, let's actually talk a little bit about AL. AL is going to be a really tight contended race. Texas, you have a few insights about that, especially with some of the new changes that happened in the lineup.
Yeah, let's to go off my statement earlier with the rank outs of the number 1 Pandas. They have their work cut out for them this week as they take on the number 8 Shadow, and this matchup could determine how the rest of the season plays out for both of these teams. The Shadow come in sitting at the number 2 seed in 2s and number 7 play-in seed in 3s, and the Pandas holding the number 5 play-in seed in 2s and number 1 in 3s. So we'll see if the newly added Who Is Osh can rally his new team around him and prove he can step in and keep their amazing season alive against the Red Hot Shadow. Who were led by B. This is before I knew that happened earlier. And Lowman. This might be the series of the week, and they also keep an eye out for the outcome because this will show who runs the division the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And then moving on to my next match to look out for. I want to talk about this one. It happens to be on the main MLE broadcast Sunday at 7 p.m. brought to you by APM Music and Sprocket. It's the standard matchup for the number 3 Ducks versus the number 5 Hawks. So be sure to mark your calendars and clear your schedules because this one is going to produce some fireworks and confetti. The Hawks come in at 23-12, holding down the number 1 seed, all while the Ducks are a few games back at 18-17 with the number 7 playing seed. It will be interesting to see how the Ducks fare on the pitch without their bread and butter and absence of Lil Wolf, who just ranked out to CL. The Hawks are red hot this season, but the Ducks know how important this matchup is, so expect this one to go down to the wire. Also in doubles, the Ducks are holding the number 2 seed with their own 2-punch and aquatic in terms, and the Hawks are sitting in the play-ins at number 7 with a fully stacked roster. So this whole series will show who the big dog is of the Blue Conference. I'm super stoked to see how this one how this first weekend of divisional matchups play out. It's been a super close playoff race this season in AL, and I think we'll have a few surprise sleepers pop up that no one has seen coming so far. I can roll on into CL, or if Quilly wants to. It doesn't matter.
Whoever wants to roll into CL, let's do it.
I mean, I want to stop your train. You seem like you got it going right now.
All right, I'll just keep it. I'll just roll on into it. To start out, this one's for the Lightning 3s team. It's time to show CL who you're made of, fellas. They come into this week clinging to the number 6 play-in, but guess who stands in their way? Can anybody guess? Who stands in the CL?
Oh,
CL.
yeah. It's the Storm, baby. It's Blizzard.
The Blizzard. 10 games back from the Blizzard. The Lightning have a chance to come in and chip their way at chip some wins away from them, from the top dog, and ensure their chance at the playoff run. But they'll have to put on their big boy pants for this one because it won't be no walk in the park. I predict every member of the Lightning team to be drenched in sweat by the time the series is over with. But they need to be real careful because their other division rivals, the Hurricanes, are breathing right down their necks, only being just 2 games back and holding on to the number 7 seed. So if the Blizzards come in and dominate like they have been, the Lightning could kiss their season goodbye.
Right.
The last CL take. Game of the week. This one's going to be the game of the week, I think. The duos matchup based in the Orange Conference. We have the number 2 seeded Pandas phasing off against the Shadow, who are sitting at the number 5 seed and only being just 2 games back. The Pandas hold a 24-11 record, while the Shadows sit with a 22-13. So whoever wins this series is honestly just going to take the division because the Sharks and Flames are nowhere to be found. Expect both of these teams to field their best standard lineups this weekend. So take notes, Pandas and Shadow. Make sure you have your best people out there because it's going to be the matchup of the season for you guys.
Very important week. It's going to be exciting to watch.
Mm-hmm. So moving on into ML, I'm going to be watching like a hawk. The Titans and the Bulls battling out for the number 1 seed in the Volcanic division. These teams are facing off against each other and are within 2 wins. However, Bulls seem to be a bit more the more patient defensive team, which worked against them last time they faced the Tyrants. They lost 2-3 in that matchup. I can't wait for this rematch where we can see if they can learn how aggressive the Tyrants can be. And I'm expecting the Bulls are going to shut them down and win that series 4-1. Then, of course, we have the Arctic Division. We have this division with the most losses. This is the lowest winning team, highest losing team. Everyone is very close together in this. Currently, we got the Wolves and the number 4 seed with a win-loss of 18-17, followed by the Foxes at 15-20, and they're facing off this week. And it's going to be a match that we'll see who loses control first. And if I'm honest, I do love an underdog story, but the Foxes aren't going to make the cut this season, and they're going to lose the series.
Brutal.
Listen, I'm just being harsh but true. I can't wait for them to prove me wrong. Yeah. Moving on to Premier League.
You're giving tons of clips, though. You are giving tons of clips for motivation for teams.
Mm-hmm. Of the matchups I will be watching the most intensely in PL. It's going to be the Blizzards versus the Flames, fire and ice. Not like that show on HBO. Both have matching win-loss records, and both are top 3 in their conference. I just really want the Flames to freeze over. Sorry to Cheese and John, but the Flames can't hold a candle in the cold storm. That's going to be a 4-1 to the Blizzards. And I will be on the edge of my seat waiting for the Flames to go out because I just really need the Boom Crew to win in 3s.
Oh, the puns. The puns are unreal. He's got them going.
Listen, y'all put me on the show. That's what you get. Speaking of finding their spark, I am waiting for the Demolition to face off against the Pirates this week. I just got done scheduling that. So I'm real excited to see the Demolition scuttle the Pirates and perform at their peak in order to catch up to the Flames in both game types. Whew. All right. Now then, we're going to the best part that everyone's always been waiting for every time we do this show. We're going to go to Play of the Week. However, y'all didn't send me any good plays of the week this past couple weeks.
Shame.
So instead, Plays of the Week, sponsored by Balls Guarana, is actually going to be PU of the Week. Since y'all didn't decide to send me your best plays, I went out of my way to find your worst plays. And we're going to be showing those off. If you wanted to actually change my mind and submit some good plays, hit ! PU of the Week, POTW for the form, and you too will have a chance to get a case of balls. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and get ready for the first clip. The first clip I found is from the CL2 Shark versus Spectre game. And let's go ahead and let's roll that clip.
But there, it's going to be Atomic taking a shot. It's off the crossbar. It's still on the goal line, but it is going to be saved out by the Spectre. And man, oh man, I thought that was a good opportunity for the Sharks. Shut down. They still are going to get a goal, though, as a little overcommitment coming out from the Spectre.
Yeah, you know, Atomic doing a great job in there, keeping them pressured into that little containment zone. And all Raspberries had to do was just wait for the right moment to strike and
back onto each other.
Brutal double commit. Oh, the over.
Not just a double, it's a triple commit.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Oh my lord.
It's the whole team just smashed in together, and Raspberries just jumps on top and knocks him in. I love it. I love that so much.
At least they all go down together. That's like, you love to see that. Good team chemistry they got going on.
Oh yeah, you know. Everyone's just got to bump into each other. We're actually also going to look at another play from the same series, but different match. And this is, again, Sharks versus Spectres, CL2s. And we're going to go ahead and check that out. And we're going to see, oh, gosh, I think I remember this one.
Play there, you know, like I said, but like Spectre have been playing really well, but just a few mistakes here can cost you. And back the other way, a huge commitment by the Sharks, unfortunately for the Spectre. It didn't work. Very close. Ryland trying to go for
It's the name of the show.
What a save. What a save.
It's the name of the show. Open net. You got to hit that. Like, come on.
If I ended up on this clip one week, I would do everything I could to go out of my way to make sure I send some nice clips in. So those of you guys that are being put on blast right now, you know, maybe go in your archives a little bit and search for some good clips to send us, because this is kind of entertaining.
There's also good motivation.
Oh, go ahead, Quilly.
I was going to say, since no one sent in clips, having your PU on the screen, it's good motivation to want to send in some POTWs instead.
Mm-hmm. And just so everyone knows, I was fair. I found one side where the Sharks messed up and one side where the Spectre messed up. I am a fair and righteous judge. Let's move on to the next clip. We got the Eclipse versus the Express. I'm sorry, the Compasses versus the Express. This is a CL3s match. I had a lot. CL, y'all, listen. Y'all are champions. Act like it, please. Let's go ahead and roll that clip.
No mercy, no
Another
mercy.
opportunity. Oh, I thought that could have been a clearance coming out from the Express, but it's going to be Herman having to drop that one down to the edge of the box. A team bump from the Eclipse. That's going to be on target. Can Monty get back to it? No, they cannot. It is now 3-0.
Yeah, unfortunate. Just getting caught out. Everybody in that corner. From the Eclipse and the Express are just there to capitalize on it. Big clear downfield, and we're at 3-0.
I do love that clip.
I don't know what the issue was. I saw a nice nice shot. Oh, was that was an own goal?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Was that the? You said that was the FL Eclipse, right?
no.
No,
that was
that's champ.
Brutal.
My fault.
100% honesty, I went really nice. If I saw FL, we know how FL is. They know what mistakes to make. If you're Champion League, though, you know better. You know better. Looking at you. Moving on to the next clip, we actually have a lower league. We have AL Tyrants versus Pirates. And what we're going to look at is this one. I had a lot of trouble trying to find who exactly caused this issue. Let's go ahead and roll the clip and see what happened.
Yeah, but you got Beerly trying to get a little bit of clear here. The Tyrants still keeping that pressure on, but Twinkie God sending it right across field into the corner. Oddfellow kind of banging it there again, but Twinkie God setting it up in mid. Brad McStackcraft, and the double commit. Unfortunate they were unable to get that one.
This is AL.
Oh my lord, there was cars flying everywhere.
I love everyone just flying past each other. The ball no longer matters. Let's see how far you can go. Soar high.
Hey, if you're gonna mess up, at least look cool doing it. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, one more before the end of the show. It's like they got shot out of a cannon because those were the Pirates doing that as well. Gosh.
Oh no,
Oh,
he can't be stopped. He can't be stopped.
Give me a counter. All right. So next we have another AL's match. We have the Flames versus the Wizards. It's AL. Sometimes AL just used to be FL, but better. Let's go ahead and roll that clip and see what pops up.
Crazy, able to get what, could have been a clear, turning into a goal, tying it up. Again, these teams so evenly matched. And the Flames, they're saving their own goals.
You guys don't get him.
Yeah, basically. All right. Oh, crazy. I'm sorry, Ben. I am so sorry. That's rough, buddy.
We all been there.
All right.
Yeah.
So we have 5 clips today. We have a poll going live soon. So in that 4th clip, the Tyrants versus Pirates, whose fault do you think that is? Do you think it was Brad for the accidental but effective fake, and then the miss in the air? Or was it Twinkie and Exiled for the double commit that missed immediately?
I think there was so many mess ups. It's just so hard to pinpoint. I think it was just a chain of events. It was a very long ladder of bad times.
Mm-hmm.
I can't point the blame at all.
Being an AL, I would say, they were faking, because that's usually the excuse that you do whenever something goes wrong. Oh, I was just faking, or no boost. There's no boost anywhere. I'm sorry.
I'm remembering the part of the clip now, and not to trash Oddfellow, great guy, but he did do the same thing I do, which is why I'm an 8.5 salary, where he hit the ball in the corner and it centers in the field. It's a perfect shot opportunity. Don't do that. Take control.
Those dang corners.
Yeah. We have a few more people voting in the meantime. Just to recap, we have the Sharks versus Spectre with the triple commit. We have another Sharks versus Spectre with, oh gosh, I'm struggling with that one. I can't remember what that one was. I think it was a missed fake there. We also had the Eclipse versus the Express, where Monty owned gold. Shout out to Monty. Love you.
It was a nice shot. It was a nice shot.
It was a very nice shot. You know what? You put the ball in the net, and at the end of the day, that's all the game is about.
That's it. He's doing the objective. If someone's scoring, it's going to be the Eclipse, and it's no net safe.
Exactly. We also have the entire mess with Tyrants versus Pirates of missing and fakes and actual real fakes. Guaranteed. Promise. I definitely believe that's a fake. And Crazy's play. But yeah, go ahead and get your votes in. We got a few more seconds left before we call it for the time, but I think it looks like Crazy is going to win. And Goodness gracious.
As much as I wanted Eclipse to win something, I'm glad they're not winning PU of the week.
Mm-hmm.
And just a reminder, if you don't want to be embarrassed, please, for the love of God, just send something in.
Send clips.
You do something good in, please.
The form is right there.
It doesn't hurt to put something in there.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, you get put on the stream.
Exactly.
Maybe some balls.
Yeah. Submit some bangers and hangers. I know that announcement's in there somewhere in community announcement. But yeah, with that, we have Crazy. You are the winner of the week. You know, this was a very fun bit. I do think I might want to do this again in the future. So let's see what happens. Maybe we'll do a game where we divide between the two, and we will say which was better, the PU of the week or the play of the week.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have like a tournament bracket.
It's like a mix between bangers and hangers and play of the week.
We can have like the top worst clips versus the top best clips and see.
There we go.
You know.
All right. And now with that, we have we're wrapping up the show. Thank you all so much for coming out this evening. Y'all have any last minute thoughts, Quilly, Texas?
I'm just excited to see how the season's panning forward. I think everyone's going to give it their all. You're just excited to see what teams are going to be putting out looking forward with the playoffs in mind. You got a lot to look at. You got to look at yourself in the mirror and see how well you're going to do and hope for the best.
Yeah. And guys, you know, you got just a few days to get those scrim points in, because if you don't, you won't be able to play. So make sure you get your scrims in. And good luck to everybody the rest of the season. You know, we've got a few weeks left, so good luck to everyone that's making a playoff push right now. It's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, thank you all so much for coming out tonight. Remember, playoff starts 10/29. October 29th will be the first day of playoffs, and the weekend of grand finals is going to be November 19th, which I believe is the weekend before Thanksgiving. I think. I hope. I might be completely wrong.
I never remember what year or what day.
It's like always the third of the last. I just remember I have to drive out there.
Yeah.
I have to drive like 3 hours to go see family. But yeah, thank you all so much for coming out to OpenNet, and feel free to recommend us to your friends, to get them introduced to MLE, talk about Rocket League. Send us your favorite clips. Yell at me on Twitter. Yell at us in the general chat in Discord. Don't at us directly. That will upset the mods. I know the mods. They will kick me in the gut. It's not good. Thank you all so much. And with that, have a wonderful evening, and just go out there and get some demos for me.
Go hit some flipper sets.
Yeah. Flipper sets for you, demos for me. Thank you so much.
Go Astros.
For Astros, go bang on some garbage cans.